What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to do a review of this video right here titled "These Companies Are Scamming Language Learners." You know me, if there's two things I love and make me hard as a rock in this world, it's languages and scams. So we're going to do a review of this video together. Let's begin.
You've been interacting with language learning content in any shape.
By the way, I've got him sped up. Couple of reasons. One, music in the background. Two, because, well, you know, I'm a fast talker and he needs to be a fast talker.
Then the almighty algorithm has probably presented you with some of these. Those get fluent in 1 to 3 months.
Oh god, I'm so happy that I barely ever use Facebook. Like, literally, I go on Facebook once a month just to see who's pregnant, and that's pretty much it. But in the very short moments that I have been on Facebook, I have definitely seen these goddamn ads right over here where they're like, "We need 15 individuals to sign up to our service today. We will help you learn a language in 15 minutes a day in 1 month. You can do it." And it's like, oh, get the fuck out of here, bro. And it doesn't matter how many of them I report, they just keep popping up like a goddamn plague.
Ads. Okay, so real quick, I was doing some research for this video.
Dude, this guy's got a fucking suit. Look, man, this is a professional YouTuber right here. See, this is the type of guy you should follow. He knows what he's doing. Not like me, I'm just over here fucking... Technically, I'm wearing no pants. Oh, I can prove it if you want. Yeah, I literally wear no pants as I make these videos, just because, well, you're not looking there anyway.
And I came across some really interesting ads. I'm gonna play 2 of them side by side and tell me if you notice anything weird.
¿Dónde eres?
Soy de Guadalajara, México.
Oh, finally, I get to use my Spanish. Okay, we're gonna be watching Cringe AI.
Cool, but can you speak English?
Of course, even though I came to the US just 3 months ago, I can already speak English very well.
Wow, that's amazing. How did you learn so fast?
With Learn AI, of course.
Vamos a empezar a practicar inglés. What is your name?
My name is Diego.
How old are you?
I have 20.
This is giving some really fucking Uncanny Valley vibes right now. For those who don't know what that word means, it basically means there's something wrong or off about it, okay? And even though they look kind of real, there's something off here. But the first thing I'm thinking, okay, is, you know what? When I think about language learning, I'm sure you guys are exactly the same. What do? You go out on the street, right? You stand in fucking, what is this, Times Square, right in the middle of the goddamn road, hold your phone up and go, "Hey, let's do a fucking lesson." You know, it doesn't matter if I'm blocking everyone else. This is my time to discuss that I have 22 years of age. Like, it's fucking... You could at least try.
Quisiste decir, I'm 22?
Sí, es verdad. I'm 22.
Diego, where are you from?
I am de Mexico.
María, buen intento, pero tienes que decir, I am from Mexico.
Perdón, siempre me equivoco.
Okay, down in the comment section, let me know how good is the Spanish AI. Critique it. Does it sound good? It'd be funny if it had a bad accent. That would be funny as hell.
I am from Mexico.
No pasa nada. Vamos a mejorar su inglés hablando todos los días juntos.
Okay, we get it. So basically, the AI is correcting the fucking shitty English of these fake-ass individuals.
Descarga ahora y empieza a practicar.
Yeah, so not only do these ads appear to be nearly identical, but also AI generated. The people who are claiming to have used the apps to get fluent aren't even real people. Super duper misleading and just one of many examples of...
You know what's even worse than these, okay? Because, like, we can spot... Well, no, that's a lie. Fucking so many people sign up for this shit, otherwise they wouldn't do it, okay? But what is fucking even more annoying is when you get actual YouTubers on here and they're talking about learning languages and selling products and stuff, and their script is AI generated, okay? Their marketing emails are AI generated. Their entire fucking courses, which is what they're trying to sell, is all AI generated. The only real thing is them standing in front of the goddamn camera. It's like, bro, you might as well just step out of the way. I'd rather look at some fake-ass hot woman or hot dude, you know? It doesn't matter. Like, Jesus, why are you even here? What do we need you for, huh?
How malicious these ads can get with deceiving people. More specifically, I've seen ads like, "We need to make this person disappear for a month and come back fluent in Japanese." This is basically the language learning version of those fitness apps that promise 6-pack abs in 30 days. Except instead of abs, they promise you perfect pronunciation, native level listening, and complete mastery of the language before you have to pay your next Netflix bill. Now, setting aside all of those very obvious get fluent fast schemes, the main issue I have with these sort of advertisements is it preys on this feeling that we have at the beginning of our study journeys, that maybe we just need to find the right method that will finally click, and this could be the one. But all these are...
He said it preys on that feeling we have at the beginning of, you know, studying a language where we're like, oh man, maybe there's a better method. I'm sorry to say, guys, this feeling will never go away. It doesn't matter how fluent you get in one language, 2 languages, 3 languages, it does not matter. You will always be sitting there going, there must be a quicker route. I'm sure. You know what? I'm going to go watch that Evildea guy. He does reviews of language learning videos. I'm sure I'm going to learn something educational from him. Yeah? He will be able to teach me about some new method, guys. If you're here to learn, I'm sorry. No, you're not. You're just here for the entertainment. Let's be honest.
Doing or setting super unrealistic expectations and making people feel like failures, even when they have a really good shot at getting good at the language. So for those of you who have been lucky enough to not get these in your feed, let's look at one ad together. We need 15 people who must become fluent in Japanese by next month. 0 excuses, total transformation, start today.
What happens if you don't get fluent? Like, how funny would it be if you signed up to this and they got you to sign this contract and they're like, oh, here's the app, 15 minutes, and like at the end of the month you're like, oh, I didn't get fluent. What's the consequences? You looked at the contract and it's like you basically signed up to the Hunger Games type of thing. Like, that'd be fucking funny as. Actually, that's an idea. I should do that. I should start some type of fucking blood sport with languages. There's probably some money in that.
1 month. Now the clickbait did work on me, and I did decide to click on this ad for the video because I wanted to dive in and see, well, just what kind of study method could get someone so fluent in just 30 days. So apparently here's how it works. It's something called a daily speaking loop. We watch a short Japanese phrase or clip, such as an anime line or a travel scene. Repeat it out loud with an AI tutor. We'll go back to that one in a sec. Get instant corrections and try again. Speak back in your own words. Then gradually level up to longer, more natural conversations. And apparently, just 5 to 10 minutes a day is enough to start building fluency. Okay, well, let's go ahead and multiply that 5 to 10 minutes a day by 30, right? There's about 30 days in a month. So 150 minutes, 150 to 300 minutes, which is 5 hours at the most. Hold on, is that right? 2.5 to 5 hours. Okay, so if you spend 2.5 to 5 hours talking to an AI tutor that will correct you, you will be able to speak fluent Japanese after just 30 days.
Okay, well, apparently I have failed miserably because how long have I spent learning languages? Well, let's start with, I guess Spanish, because I know exactly how long I've spent. I've spent exactly, as of today, 544 hours on Spanish. Fuck, some dude's racing his car down my goddamn street. He's gonna join the Hunger Games next. Okay, so there's that one. Then we've got Chinese. I didn't quite calculate, I don't know exact numbers, but I'm guessing somewhere around 1,200-ish hours, okay? Now, with Esperanto, probably 10k hours? I've been using that language so goddamn much. It's, you know what? I've even got fucking proof. Look, 10k hours right here, bitches, in this certificate. Okay, so, yeah, it's gonna be a bit more than 5 hours. If you came to this video hoping to learn a language in 5 hours, I'm sorry to say, it's going to be just a tad bit longer. Oh, and by the way, I'm not fluent in 2 of those languages.
That sounds amazing, right? But then also, let's just make this more realistic, right? Let's just assume that I ring up my friend Tanaka and I say, hey Tanaka, let's call for 5 to 10 minutes a day and practice Japanese. And can you please, for every mistake I make, correct me and tell me the more natural way to say it, and I'll write down and take notes. Now, first of all, that's a lot, right? So if we just take a 5 to 10 minute conversation of talking, about 80 to 90% of that is going to be filled up with just note-taking and being...
I know people who spend 30 minutes plus a day just building Anki decks before they even get to their study.
1 second, Tanaka. I need to actually note down every word you told me. So how many minutes of actual conversation are there? Now, I get it though, with the AI, you could pick up where you left off, but I still think it's interesting that you're telling...
Technically no, okay? Yes for a while, but no in the long run. Okay, so the way these AI apps sell themselves is you can continue on the conversation, slowly build over time, but there's a limit. Because how they work behind the scenes is basically they collect tokens. So from the very first word that you say, it builds out the conversation, and then every time you ask a question, it doesn't just send that one question. It sends the entire stream back through the thing. So it can regenerate the whole conversation based on, everything that's been said so far. Because it's basically a system by which where it picks the most likely outcome based on the entire conversation, not just the one question, okay? So what will happen is eventually you're going to hit the limit of how many tokens can be sent to the AI. So the way these apps get around it is they're going to have certain levels, and then once you reach the second level, because it also costs them more to send through a large amount of tokens, they wipe all that out and they tell the AI, hey, he technically knows these words, so just pretend, use these words as well. So it's not just going to continue remembering everything you've ever discussed. No, it's wiped clean.
Telling me that if you spoke with an AI tutor for 5 hours total, you'd be fluent in Japanese? It's honestly kind of impressive to me how...
I'd imagine within just a 1 5-hour conversation, you're probably going to hit that limit. And it would wipe it.
confidently these companies can lie. The thing for me, and you've probably heard a lot of other people say this, is that we all have our own definitions of fluency. But I do think generally a lot of people agree that being fluent in a language means being able to command and use it at a comfortable level. It takes a lot of time, work, effort, and consistency. These companies will just say fluent like it's something you can just achieve and move on from. And that's one of the other big roots of this
Probably doesn't help that half the polyglots on YouTube say the same shit and they're nowhere near fluent.
issue. Redefining fluent, right? We saw that on that website there that they talked about learning travel lines from anime and memorizing them, right? And using them in conversation. Well, here, you might see some places redefining fluency as being able to order a sandwich from your favorite sandwich store.
Oh my god, the sandwich example pisses me off so badly. When I started learning Chinese, I tried out Rosetta Stone because I got a free copy, okay? So I got Rosetta Stone, okay? And I was learning Chinese, and one of the first words they ever teach you is 三明治, which means sandwich, okay? And the funny thing about sandwiches in Chinese is, when you go to China, no one really eats sandwiches. I don't think it's a word I've ever used, except as an example in videos such as this. So it's kind of crazy that, because the way they work is behind the scenes, they just build the same course for every single language, and then they just get it translated, okay? And then that's what they pump out as all the different languages. All these apps and shit do it. But then that's the problem, where you reach these cultural differences, and learning how to say sandwich is a complete waste of your time in Chinese at the beginning. Maybe down the track, it might be handy. I think I've seen a sandwich at an airport when I was in China, and that's about it.
Even just talking about your day or the weather, because apparently if you're able to have even just a single conversation about one topic, that automatically makes you fluent. I also think it's really cool to have any conversation in your target language, but what these ads are promising is not fluency. They're relying on the fact that most people don't stick with this product long enough because they feel like it didn't work for them. In their head, they think, oh, this app didn't work for me. I'm not.
Okay, what they're employing here is the same method that the gyms employ, okay? So what do most gyms do, the ones that are pretty crooked? When you go sign up, Jesus Christ, I just kicked my camera with my little toe. Stop thinking in Esperanto, for fuck's sake. Okay, so what they do is you go to the gym, you sign up, and then you're locked into a contract for a period of time. And if everyone who signed up actually went every day and used the gym, there would be no room. It would be literally impossible, okay? Because most people will go, be really intense for the first few days, and then they're going to find some excuse, and then they're not going to go to second week, third week, and then fourth week, they're just basically paying for having a card which makes them feel better, okay? And then when you finally do decide, shit, I gotta cancel this shit, you go there, they're like, oh, well, you're gonna give us 1 month's notice and all this type of bullshit. It's fucked up, okay? And it's the same thing with these apps. The way they rely is that you subscribe, and then most people are pretty stupid when it comes to subscriptions, and they forget that they've subscribed, and it just keeps clocking away the money until eventually one day they're like, why am I paying Apple fucking $200 a month? And they go into the subscriptions like, I'm still paying for that? Oh, I better cancel it. So that's how they make their money. That's what they're reliant upon.
Not good at learning languages, and they won't actually realize that there's something inherently wrong with how the application itself is set up. Let's say the Men in Black came in here right now and they just erased all.
In fact, if you look at most of these, and this is even true for Rosetta Stone, okay? Because I did the entire Chinese course on Rosetta Stone. I also did it on Pimsleur as well, because I'm the type of guy who likes to review these things. So, Rosetta Stone, the first few levels, even though they introduce completely pointless words like 三明治, sandwich, okay? As they are in the... What am I trying to say? Okay, in the first few levels, they actually make sense. Like, they introduce concepts and they work together. But as you get further and further along, it becomes really scatterbrained, and they just randomly introduce things that are really complex and then don't, review it later on. And then later on, they keep reviewing the same shit over and over and over. And it becomes so goddamn annoying because they know most people are never going to get to that level anyway. So why invest the money in making that part look good?
All the Japanese from my head for some reason, and I tried this app, right? Well, first off, I'm a huge JoJo's fan, so maybe on day 0 or day 1, I try to watch JoJo without any subtitles or with Japanese subs, and obviously I'm gonna have 0% comprehension. But since this app tells me that I could get fluent in just 30 days or 5 hours of talking to a tutor, then maybe after those 30 days or even halfway through, I'm gonna go over to JoJo's and I'm gonna try to watch one of those episodes. For those of you who are curious,
I don't know what it is, but that word JoJo's, it just makes me think of a small cafe on the corner of the road. You go down, you get your coffee, and you be like, hey, let's meet up at JoJo's, and afterwards we'll go to the cinemas or something.
Here is the difficulty ranking for JoJo, as well as the number of unique words in the entire series. You're telling me that I can memorize all of those in just 5 hours? I'm sorry, but that's just not humanly possible. So yeah, my hypothetical self is gonna get super demotivated because the ad told me 30 days, and I'm still not fluent after 30 days. Why can't I still watch JoJo's after 30 days, right? And then I'm gonna give up on Japanese because I might have the mindset that, oh, well, maybe I'm just bad at learning languages. Maybe learning Japanese just isn't for me. When honestly, they just got off on the wrong start due to malicious advertisements like this. Okay, let me look for another. I have another one, hold on. Here's another one also focused around, once again, an AI tutor. This app gets you coming up with your own sentences from day one. Now I have the confidence to speak in the language I'm trying to learn.
You know, I'm just looking at this and the first thing I'm thinking is CEO of Fluio, new project that he started talking about. He's literally trying to create the exact same app that's been created like 30, 40, 50 times already.
And then in the description of the post, it says, maintaining streaks does not equal speaking fluently. Try Sylvie, where you chat to learn from day one. If I'm being completely honest, if you're traveling to Japan next month, let's say, and you don't know any Japanese, and you just want to memorize some phrases as well as learn to listen for those generic replies, I mean, yeah, I could see that, right? If you want to ask where the toilet is or where the nearest train is, and you need to learn words like migi, hidari, masugu, or, you know, stuff like that, right? I get it. That's a very limited set of vocab, but it could be useful for travel. But that's not how these apps are framing it. They're teaching you how to speak from day one, using vocab that you don't even know. Look at this.
Like, people talk about, you know, learning a little bit to go there and use it while you're in country. I guess if the country doesn't have, like, a high density of English speakers, it might be handy type of thing, but what I imagine would actually happen is, let's just say you know a couple of sentences like, where is the toilet? Okay. You're going to go up to someone, you're going to go, hey, where's the toilet? You know, in whatever language you're learning. And then they're just going to go, oh yeah, you take the left, you go down there, it's right next to that, the green bin, and you're just going to be like, what? And then they're just going to point anyway. So you don't even need to learn the whole sentence. Just learn the word toilet. Just go toilet. And they'll go, it's blah, 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 and they'll do the exact same thing. So if that's all your intention is, just learn the words. Toilet, food, manga.
10,000 likes, 189 comments, and 211 shares in the DMs. Now, quick educational note, because I do want to make this video worth your time. There's something called output theory. Now, I'm not sure if these apps are aware of this or just completely misconstruing it, but the output theory states that outputting in a language helps you, but you need to have a solid foundational knowledge in the language first. It doesn't state that you should output from day zero, but rather that when you build up your vocabulary and have some solid level of base fluency, that you can start practicing and speaking with natives. Because at some point, once you get good enough at a language through speaking and conversing back and forth with people, you're still going to pick up more and more, because it's just a lot of listening with some production thrown in there. I want to dive a bit more into the psychology behind these ads and how they manipulate people, because I think it's...
I've spoken about this whole, you know, listening versus, you know, output versus input thing many times on this channel, and the benefits of doing output alongside doing input. I'm not going to go into this here because this is like a scam video.
It's really dirty. You're gonna see words thrown around like AI-powered, neuroscience-based, or revolutionary method just to make it sound legitimate. They're gonna show someone who's been studying for years and imply that they got those results from the app. You know, when I first started Japanese, I was in high school, big fan of anime, and I just wanted to watch it without subtitles. I know that sounds very generic, but that's...
I'm gonna have to learn Japanese. That's gonna have to be my next language, because most of the content I've been reviewing as of recently have been like Japanese bullshit drama, which actually I kind of enjoy, or Japanese language videos. It's like, where the hell is the good Chinese language videos that I can review? The ones that I have reviewed have been from scammers, okay? Where's the good freaking Spanish language learning videos I can review, even though technically I shouldn't be looking at those because it could destroy the method that I'm secretly using? Or where's the good Yeah, let's forget about that one.
Literally where my headspace was at. So I fell into that mindset, right? I wanted to get fluent fast. I wanted to do whatever it took to be able to sit down and watch Soul Eater, no subs, and just, you know, kind of flex on my friends. I thought it'd be pretty cool. But the more I learned, the more I realized that fluency isn't some clean finish line you cross. It's actually like climbing a mountain, reaching the peak, and then another mountain appears.
Actually, I would say fluency in my mind is there's a mountain range in front of you with lots of little hills along the way, and you climb to the top of one, you're like, haha, I've reached fluency. Oh shit, I'm only fluent at this one tiny little aspect of the language. Now I need to go back down and realize I'm still shit, and then climb up that next hill just to repeat this process until eventually you get to the top of Mount Everest, and then you realize there's nowhere to go but down. And start again with a new language.
But oddly enough for me, that actually makes it fun. If you think about your native language, for example, let's go with English. There are a lot of times where I'm reading books or watching shows that there's just words I don't know. Like my native language, I've been speaking it for 24, going on 20... Oh wait, I guess I was a baby at some point. I've been speaking my native tongue for 20 plus years, and there are still words I come across that I just don't know. So does that really make me fluent in English? That's up to you to define, but I do think overall, you don't need to...
Yeah, so most people, they define fluency as a B2 plus in a language, which is you're able to have a conversation about pretty much everyday tasks without going too far in depth. But I would say, you know, proper fluency C1, that's where you can get around pretty easy. You can work in the language. There's going to be things you still don't know within the language, but overall you can survive without any problem, okay? But most people define it as a B2 level.
Learn every word in the language to consider yourself fluent. And also with Japanese, it is not a race, it's a marathon. As long as you're in it for the long term and give yourself realistic expectations, which is the very thing these ads are going against, you're gonna make it. Somewhere along the way, I just kind of stopped worrying about when I'd be fluent and started enjoying the process itself. I chose content that as a human, I just legitimately enjoyed. Anime that I've watched.
There was a good conversation in my Discord about this the other day. So someone's spoke about, the hours to learn a language and, how do you deal with this, looking at it and knowing that you're going to spend 2,000 hours or whatever to get to a good level in a language, okay? Obviously dependent on the language, but let's just go with the 2,000 hours because we're talking Japanese here, okay? So how do you deal with that knowledge? And the way I deal with it, because obviously I'm facing this problem with multiple languages, is I don't look at the overall hours and go, oh my god, there's 2,000 hours. I just look at it on a day-by-day basis. What is manageable for a day? Now, for Spanish at the moment, what's manageable is 3 hours a day. I can do 3 hours. Cool, I'll do 3 hours. Doesn't matter that, I'm nowhere near the end goal, but I'm just going to do the 3 hours a day. And as long as I succeed at those 3 hours, I feel like I'm successful, okay? Now, it depends on the language and the learning method I'm using. It may be short, it may be longer, whatever, okay? But that's how I like to deal with it, is a little baby step at a time. And I remember hearing a quote from David Goggins, he's really big in the fitness space, okay? And he was talking about how to run a marathon, which is a similar type of thing. And someone was asking him, how do you deal with the fact that that you're nowhere near the end of the line? Because he was talking about, it's not like a marathon, but the super marathons or whatever, okay? Like the ones where you're just running and running and running for fucking ever. And he goes, well, I don't look at, how far I am off from the end of the actual marathon. I look how far I am off of the next signpost. So I look at the next signpost and go, okay, I just got to get to that signpost. Just got to get to that signpost. Boom, I'm at that signpost. Okay, that signpost. I just got to get to that one. Just got to get to that one. Make your goals easy to reach and then accumulate over time.
Watched in English and just swapped everything to Japanese. After rinsing, repeating, watching stuff, reading, I'd realize, hey, I actually recognized every word in that line this time, and it was really motivating. A lot of these companies know exactly what they're doing. They're just selling dopamine, not results. Now, a lot of you watching this video might be native Japanese speakers even, advanced learners, intermediate learners, beginners, or even people just thinking about getting into studying Japanese. So a lot of us may look at these ads and already know that it's straight up, but a lot of people wanting to get.
I'm thinking about it. I shouldn't be though. I would love to start learning Japanese, but I'm spending, 1 to 2 hours a day on Chinese, 2 to 3 hours a day on Spanish. I spend a good, 15-minute review of Esperanto. It's like, no, don't do it, Evildea, don't do it.
Into learning Japanese may not know just how much time and effort it takes. So when they stumble upon these ads that do claim to get you fluent in 1 to 3 months, they take it at face value. What really bothers me about these is that you're taking all of the spark and motivation from beginners and abusing that and telling them they can get fluent in a few months, and then you're setting them up for disappointment. People who are legitimately interested in the language and culture, and they're squashing it like a bug. I don't know how else to say it. So for those of you.
Okay, the best way to deal with this is just mass report. Everyone who, if you guys see it, just report them. Straight up, that's what I do. I just report scam. Report scam, report scam. Obviously that won't solve the problem, but that's the best we can hope to achieve.
If you're kicking off your Japanese journey or looking to get into it, here is the honest truth. Fluency is not something that is built in mere months. It's built in small, fleeting moments that you repeat 1,000 times. It's not grand and glamorous. You're not.
Exactly. 100%. It's about walking to those milestones, basically.
Dialing it from 0 to 100, but rather, you're watching a show and realizing that you understood one more sentence than last time. It's that great feeling of reading something and recognizing a word that you mined 3 weeks ago. That's the kind of progress that actually lasts, but of course, it doesn't sell well in an ad. Hence all of these intrusive, misleading advertisements. If you've ever fallen for one of those get fluent in 90-day ads, don't beat yourself up. The problem isn't you, it's the fact that these people are selling a fantasy and make it look effortless, when real learning is full of confusion, repetition, and tiny wins that build up over time. And that's what makes it cool, because when you finally get something, it's real. You earned it. Next time you see one of those ads saying you'll be fluent in 3 months, just remember, they're not selling you language skills, they're selling you dopamine. The only people getting fluent that fast are the marketers in the language of manipulation. I'm sorry. I had to, I'm sorry.
That's actually good. Don't be sorry for that. That was good. I like that. Okay, so yeah, good channel. Well, I don't know if it's a good channel, but like good videos. So this is the YouTuber right here. I'll drop a link down in the description. Go sub to his channel because at least he's not selling bullshit. And I'll see you all in the next video. And if you're not there, I'm going to make an app where we talk with AI and we figure out the best way to hide your body.